Hey everyone, it is Wednesday, March 23rd, 2011. This is episode 7.1 of the GameDevNewbie podcast, where I go on my game developing adventure and you get to watch. Sounds exciting. Anyway, so this is the first podcast where I'm actually getting back to work on the game I was working on. And it's real hard getting back into the game, into the swing of things when you've been away for 3 weeks. So I spent a lot of time just kind of staring at the screen kind of blankly and wondering what the hell I should be doing. But I did work on some things today. One of them, not quite related to the game, but one of them is related to Unity, and I'll show you real quick what it is. Not that. It is this. If it works. There we go. You're saying, but that looks the same. It isn't. It's actually Windows 7. And I'm running, you see here, Windows 7. And I'm actually running Unity in Windows 7 in a virtual machine. And this is pretty awesome because without having to reboot my computer, do a hard boot, I can just launch VMWare Fusion and I can launch Unity and work on the Windows build in Unity in Windows 7 without rebooting. I think that's cool. I don't know. If you don't think that's cool, it's okay. I think it's cool. And this is actually running off an actual physical hard drive. This isn't a virtual drive. It is a physical hard drive. So whatever I do in this environment here, I can boot into it natively and rock on. You know, that kind of stuff. Alright. So let's just minimize that real quick. Actually, we're going to... No, we can't. We got to turn it off. We got to shut down. Yes, shut down. Okay, so that's Unity running in Windows 7 in a virtual machine. I think that's pretty awesome. This is Unity running in Mac OS X. Anyway, so the other thing I was working on today, believe it or not, that actually took up most of my time trying to figure out how to do that. But most of that was staring at the screen as well. reading some websites and stuff like that. Actually, it wasn't really that hard. I just, for a little while, Windows 7 needed to be rebooted for some reason, and once I rebooted it, it worked flawlessly without any configuration whatsoever. Because here, boot camp partition. So I already set up the rock and roll with the boot camp partition. Not that this is a boot camp partition, because this is a Hackintosh, and it's a machine I built myself, so it's just a regular Windows install on a 1 terabyte hard drive. Anyway, and I always forget to do the timer. Alright, we got like, I don't know, 6 minutes. 5 minutes. Alright. So today, what do I want to work on? Today I wanted to work on, you're just seeing it right here, training and shop UI. Basically a user interface for the player to spend their training points and their gold that they collect. And the way I started working on that was I created a bunch of art assets, very simple art assets in Photoshop. I don't know if I still have it up in Photoshop. Yeah, I do. So I made a Photoshop document, and in that Photoshop document I made several layers. Each layer contains, like in this case, for the button that I'm going to make called Constitution, when the player clicks on this, they'll be able to add a point to their Constitution score. But I needed 3 different buttons, or 3 different textures for that one button. I need one button, as you can see here, that is kind of like a light or dark gray or whatever this is. And that's in layer 1. So when I save this with this visible, layer 1 visible, or this layer visible, it shows up in Unity as this right here. Constitution. Okay. Not that that's being used at the moment, but you'll see where that comes in later. Alright, so then I made another one, which is a white version of the same word, with only that layer in Photoshop activated or viewable, and saved it as a Photoshop document once again. And then when we go back to Unity, we take a look at Constitution Normal, you'll see there's the art asset. It's the white asset. And then finally, I did a third one. This one is a slightly larger font. And what that does, if we go back to Unity, you can see if I go to this one, Constitution Over, you can see it's a slightly larger font. But what that does is when the user mouses over, it's going to make the word appear bigger. Lets them know that they can click on that. Alright, we've got about 3 minutes left. Okay, so what else did I do? Oh, I made some art assets I called the progress bar. So if we load up this one, or not. Yeah, I think that's the one I did load up. Let's load up this one. Alright. We have a progress bar. This is basically to let the player know that they've added a point in. This is quick and dirty. I don't intend to really use this for a final version of the game, but it's just so that I can start messing around with the functionality of this. So I created a bunch of layers, and in those layers, oops, you're not going to see it here, but in these layers are these bars. And what I did was I created 5 layers of bars, and then actually let's go to this one here. We can just turn these on, and I made 2 versions. I made a white version, or I made 6 versions. I made one with none of the bars white; they're only this gray color, and then I made them each with a white bar. So 5 has 5 white bars, then 4 would have 4 white bars and 1 gray bar, so on and so forth. And ultimately what I hope to do with that is be able to pick which texture I want to use, which texture I want to display, depending on what the value of the player's strength score or intelligence score is. So if we go over here to the okay. If we go over here to the actual buttons, here we go. Okay, let's go to strength button. All right, so I created a button using we'll go through the whole process. I did a create empty game object, then I added a component, the EZGui component called button, and that populates my object with this script created by these fellows who created this EZGui Middleware, and in it is all the things I need to create a button that has multiple states, and voila, buttons. Alright, it's a little bit more complex than that, but I'm running out of time. So let's take a look at how that works. If we go over here, well, actually, let's make this big. There we go. Let's hit play. And you see when I mouse over one of the words, it increases in size. It changes the font size. So that means when I mouse over it, it's clickable. And when I click on it, hopefully these buttons will eventually be told to change to the next increment. Right now you can see that they change when I mouse over them, just so I can see what it looks like. This would be 4 and that's 5. So that's a very quick and dirty version of what I was working on today. Oh, real quick, if I have enough time, hopefully I do, I'll show you the website for this middleware, EZGui. It's very useful. It helps you put together buttons and sliders and any kind of GUI widget you might want in Unity, and lets you assign textures and whatnot based textures to those buttons and knobs and whatever, and assign scripts to them that tell them what they do. And that's it. That's what I've done today, episode 7.1. Alright, see you tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace out.